This year, about 1 in every 4 Americans will get notices from the Internal Revenue Service saying they owe money.
So what should you do? Panic, pay up, pray, throw it away? What? Well, probably none of the above, as our consumer reporter Bebe Emerman tells us now as she continues her special assignment report, Presumed Guilty.
Dawn and Monica, this year the IRS is expected to send out notices of tax and penalties due to more than 30 million Americans. These notices will accuse you of all kinds of things, from math mistakes to failing to disclose income. But relax, there's a pretty good chance a lot of these notices will be incorrect, and if you know what you're doing, you can fight back and win. Lucius Henderson and Robert Allen are both on, shall we say, intimate terms with the IRS. Since the 1970s, Lucius has undergone 3 personal audits. Robert has weathered 6 corporate audits for his business, and if both men have learned one thing, it's the importance of keeping meticulous records.
If you have no records, then they are always right. So if you keep records, then you can always go to battle. You can say, hey, here I am.
This last audit, I think when we came to Colin's office, we had hand trucks and transfer file cases full of records. But we were very confident that we had everything documented, and sure enough, at the end of the audit, we were given a clean bill of health.
Keeping thorough, meticulous records is key to surviving an audit or any dealings with the IRS, but having the right attitude helps too. A lot of taxpayers are so afraid of the IRS that they just go ahead and roll over and pay right away. Is that a good idea?
It's not a good idea. So many times what they're alleging is not correct.
In fact, a poll conducted last year by Money Magazine revealed that about half the notices the IRS sent out were wrong. But the poll also showed that when people challenged the IRS, 54% wound up paying nothing and another 17% succeeded in getting their bills reduced. So if you do want to fight back, what should you do? Well, first and foremost, never ignore an IRS notice. Sure, it's unpleasant, but it won't go away on its own.
The IRS has a lot of powers, and a lot of powers also include, if they believe you owe money, levying on your bank account or garnishing your wages. So one of the things you don't want to do is just ignore them and force them into position to taking one of those strong actions.
Once you're ready to respond, respond quickly. If you're wrong, send a check within 10 days. If you're right, send a response in writing, along with the documentation to support your position, preferably by certified mail. When communicating with the IRS, keep your response clear and simple. 6th grade level English is preferable. If this doesn't work and you get another letter, follow up forcefully. Be sure to include copies of everything you've already sent with a cover letter explaining that you did respond the first time. If you get a 3rd letter, though, it's probably time to contact the IRS's Problems Resolutions Office.
Many people call the Problem Resolution Office the best-kept secret in the Internal Revenue Service, but it's been here for 13 years. They are told when they take the job that they are to be a taxpayer's advocate.
If you're called in for an audit or if the dispute concerns a technical point, it's usually wise to get expert help. But that doesn't necessarily guarantee things will go smoothly. Just ask Sharon Greenblatt. Sharon was audited by the IRS not long ago because of a small business she ran out of her home, but had the misfortune to be assigned an inexperienced auditor. When things dragged on and on, her accountant requested help from the auditor's manager.
And that person got sick or got married or something, and he had to go through it again with another person. And then that person got promoted or something, and the assistant had to do it, and then he had to go through it again with them.
In all, Sharon and her accountant went through 4 different managers. A simple audit that should have taken about a month wound up taking a year and a half. The good news is that Sharon's accountant convinced the IRS she didn't owe any money.
It started out where we could have owed up to $30,000 or $40,000. We might have owed them. And in the end, they ended up paying us money.
But the bad news, however, is that Sharon was stuck with almost $4,000 in accounting fees that her refund did not make up for. Is it fair? No. Is there going to be much you can do about it? No. There is no provision for people to recapture fees that they spend when arguing with the IRS.
All right, Bebe.